up.
Good morning. Don't know what day it is, 1:48, let's say. It rained a little bit off and on through the night, very lightly. And it had stopped and it was kind of dried out by the time I woke up. But here it is, 7. I was just finishing up breakfast, was just about to start packing, and it started downpouring again. I took a look at the radar, and it's probably going to rain till about 10. So looks like I'm packing up in the rain today. Start hiking in the rain. And I don't even know what today's plan is. I feel like I may go into Great Barrington tonight, this evening, just because lack of shelters and camping spots in the right distance. Either, I'll do like an 8-mile day or a 20-mile day, or I go into Great Barrington, something like that. I need to look at the map again. That's my memory of it, having tried to figure it out as I was falling asleep last night. Anyway, great. Another rainy day. Granted, we've had a pretty good run of not rainy days for quite some time. But just getting everything wet and soggy, and it takes days for that to dry out. It's just not fun. Anyway, I'm in mid-packing up. It's kind of a lull, hopefully maybe even the end of the rain for this morning, but just want to give a shot of what my campsite looked like. So this was the group campsite, so there's like 3 or 4 of these tent platforms and a picnic table. Yeah, this is pretty widely spaced for 2 trees. It's probably my max limit. It's probably about 18 feet. But it worked totally fine. So yeah, this weather harkens back to March, or at least the way it looks on on screen. The temperature is much better, although it is a little cool. Let's see, the official temperature, 66. That's pretty chilly for late July. Of course, we're late July in Massachusetts at, I don't know, 1,500 to 2,000 feet somewhere. Wow, this feels like a wall, like 10 feet away. So I guess now we're on the summit of Mount Race. Let's hope the descent is not as treacherous as Bear Mountain was. All right, here we are, the highest point right here. And the best view is in the direction behind me, which is nothing but clouds. A couple of layers though, it's not just a white wall anymore. All right, carrying on. So I will say the descent down the north face of Race Mountain is considerably gentler than Bear Mountain was yesterday, but it's also wet. Like the rocks up on the ridge on the summit and kind of on the climbing side were pretty much dry, but these on the descent side are still pretty wet, so it's like very gingerly taking small steps and being super careful on the kind of cross sloping and down sloping pretty smooth, rounded edge rocks. You know, you could slip at any moment, really. And I can't afford to do rapid, accelerating, unsupported, deep knee bends under weight, which is, you know, what a slip like that could entail sometimes. And also the big steps you have to take occasionally. So I'm going to concentrate on that. Just started the second climb of the day, which is like an 800-foot ascent of Mount Everett. Already breathing heavy, but 800 is not that bad. But I feel like I just survived the descent of Mount Race, only to just jump right into the next climb. All right, we're in the middle of one of these climbs. This has got a note that says will return. It was dated yesterday, so someone dropped their pack in the middle of the trail. I'm just curious if it has a tag on it. Doesn't look like a thru hiker pack. Oh, I don't want to mess with it too much. All right. This otherwise smooth rock face has got some steps on it at least. Here we are. Used to be a lookout tower of some kind, it looks like. Let's see what we got. Right turn. Summit of Mount Everett. That was a climb. I hope it's gentler going down. I said that an hour ago. Now it starts drizzling. Let's not. I love it when it's raining and these little orange guys come out in droves. That's a pretty decent water cache here. Through hiker water. And they're all full and bolted together. Cabled together. Dog water too. Just finishing up what I guess was my lunch break here at whatever this shelter is called. Hemlock, I think. Yeah, that first leg today was really slow going because it was like wet and steep downhills and steep climbs, like two major climbs over mountains. There we go, the Hemlocks. So it took me about 3.5 hours to go 4 miles. Yeah. So that was this morning's hike. Now I've got 8 miles to go, which is 4 hours, and it's all gentle downhill and flat for the most part. That's the right way out of here. And hope to knock that out in 4 hours, including break. But I'll allow a little extra time for break, which puts me at Highway 7 by between 5:30 and 6. My biggest challenge of the day will be finding a ride into Great Barrington. And okay, this is the way I came in. And so that'll be a bridge to cross this evening. Man, I'm looking rough, aren't I? I think it's these little patches of whiskers here make my cheeks look hollow. And they're not as hollow as they look. It just looks like I've got shadow there and it's really whiskers. When I said a general gentle downhill for the rest of the day. I mean, that's true if you connect the point where I was and the point where I'm going to end up. But it's rolling, so there's lots of like little climbs and little descents. And it's all on these kind of wet rocks. So it's still kind of trepidatious and a little bit dangerous. So you still have to be careful. And there's going to be a little section coming up here that's like a 17% grade descent. So it's not all flowers and unicorns. Not sure how to navigate this one. There's nothing to grab onto. So for the most part, it's flat here on out, thankfully, and I feel like I'm going through a jungle in terms of the woods, the vibe of the woods. But that was it for the mountains for the day. This sure smells good. The pastures to my left just brimming with chest-high wildflowers. There's some right here on the trail. So like inside the last mile, hiking into, not into, but to the road that leads into Great Barrington. So there've been a lot of field crossings. Cut through a little cluster of woods and then through another field along the edge. Since we came down off that mountain and out of the woods, it's been flat valley. It's like there's rain off in that direction. And then there's like sunlight coming through the trees right there. Anyway, I haven't taken a break in the last 7 miles with 1 mile to go. But the descent down that steep mountain in the wet rocks was slow enough that it wasn't pounding my feet. And then this valley crossing has been mostly on dirt and grass, not pavement and gravel. And it's been varied enough, but also I'm still right around 12 miles in, not 15, so, or 17, so it's not like I've exhausted my foot's tolerance for being walked on yet. But I'll be glad to get off them when I get to the road. Hopefully I can get a ride without having to stand in the rain or whatever. The rain's supposed to stop, so I'm not really worried about that, but anyway. Waiting on a shovel.